Okay, so the issues facing your students. I'm going to spend a chunk of time on this, so pay attention. You want to know this. You want to be able to teach this. You want to be able to explain this. You want to be able to understand this on a physical level so that you can explain it from your body. So the issues facing yoga students right now is yoga students are modern people. And modern people are suffering from stress and chronic systemic inflammation. And so if you're not addressing that directly as a yoga teacher, the problem is you're using an outdated yoga teacher training manual. And when did I get into this? I just really got into this on a I don't know, one of our member calls this week. It goes something like this. Oh, I know, it was yesterday with the Yoga Detox mentors. So it goes something like this. When people started to do yoga, even in the 1970s and 80s, they didn't have chronic systemic inflammation. There was no, like TV was what people watched at night. They didn't carry phones. They weren't available 24/7. They didn't have wired and tired issues, and they didn't have processed food. Not to the degree that we have right now. So the way we were taught to teach yoga is to teach to someone that doesn't have chronic systemic inflammation. But the problem is everyone has it. Like even I have it, like to a very small degree, but like I know exactly what I'm dealing with. And so if we're not willing to look at that, so chronic systemic inflammation right now causes 3 out of 5 deaths worldwide. That's from the World Health Organization. All the diseases that fall under chronic systemic inflammation are cancer, heart disease, respiratory disease, immune disease, autoimmune disease. Those are the 5 major categories of disease are now being understood as differentiation of the same issue. And the issue is chronic systemic inflammation. So how does this tie into teaching yoga? Well, yoga is this path of waking up. It's the path of union between the individual and the cosmos. It's the path of awakening someone to being the creator of their life, of being free of culture, to be able to create. And so in order to do that, and this is where to me it gets really interesting. If we look at like, this is the experience of yoga. That's Alex Gray. Any Alex Gray fans here? So Alex Gray was a biological artist. So he was drawing like biology textbooks. And then he had a spiritual awakening and he experienced the subtle body. So he started to draw anatomical versions of the subtle body. Thank you, Alex Gray. Like, thank you for doing that, right? Holy cow. Like who's better off for knowing like, oh, that's the biology of the subtle body. And yoga awakens us to our subtle body. Anyone here who studied yoga philosophy or Ayurvedic theory knows that it's an anatomical reference, right? It's just happening in the subtle field, not in the physical field. It's not condensed to the level of growth. Okay, so in teaching yoga, we're uniting people with this experience, right? We're saying that this is part of you too. You actually are also a human being. You are the most sophisticated piece of technology that's ever been invented. And it's super sensitive. Super sensitive. And you can fuck your shit up faster than anything with chronic systemic inflammation in a culture. And when you do, and this is all you have to do that, is eat too much or eat too frequently or eat foods that aren't really food. All that will mess up the food body, what's called the Annamaya kosha. Or take too much in through your senses. Take too much into your mind. Pick up your phone too frequently throughout the day. Read the news daily. And what this does is it creates that which cannot be digested, which in Ayurveda and yoga we call ama. And ama, or that which cannot be digested, creates chronic systemic inflammation. That's the end result of the inability to digest that which is coming into the body or coming into the mind. It creates a toxicity. The toxicity in the mind generates negative emotions. So if we now go on like a a kosha by kosha breakdown. It's something like this. So we have 5 bodies: physical body, energy body, mind, intuitive body, bliss body. And if you add chronic systemic inflammation, you get obesity in the food body, or just being overweight first. And in the mind, it creates negative emotions when there's too much going in the mind. And that's how it affects the physical body. Is the body's then, the cells are swimming in negative emotions. It's happening on the physical level and the energetic level. It creates a rhythm in the energy body, which is the pranic body. So we talk about prana in yoga. That's that it's the rhythm's off. And you can't feel like this. You can't feel the energy. You get brain fog or inability to concentrate. You get overwhelm in the mind. And then the intuitive body and the bliss body just get blocked. You just don't get, this is just not, that's just a picture. That's not an experience. So like for the modern yoga teacher, you guys, like we're up against a culture. And I've seen this in the last 20 years. I've seen it change. And I think many of you who've been teaching for a couple decades longer than me have really seen people's bodies change and people's minds change. Their ability to commit to something, their ability to follow through, their ability to know what their goals are, their ability to focus on their goals.